Okay, this is part 4 to my Let's Talk About It video. I am Gabrielle. And so as I was saying is when you go back, I encourage you, whoever you are, how many of you there may be, go back and study Jesus. Jesus already knew who was going to be like what. The reason why God used him to be the example is because the same thing is going to happen no matter where you go. Even if you choose to stay in sin and die in sin, you have people who do a lot of sinful things out there because demons travel, spirits travel, they transfer. They don't care if you're in church. They don't care if you're outside of the church. They don't care if you're at a club. They don't care if you're in your house. They will go through anyone. They will transfer through any family bloodline. They do not care. As long as you have an open doorway in you somewhere, whether you know it or not, they're going to use you for satanic glory. That's how Satan is. He does not care. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so with that being said, you have to understand something. You cannot you can choose to. Either you can choose to keep letting what they did in the church, those certain people, hold you back from being in relationship with God and getting to know God for yourself, because you shouldn't hold God accountable and take things out on God because of what man did. Because God didn't tell them to do that. He didn't make them to do that. As a free will agent, they chose to treat you that way. You can't sit up here and say, be your own enemy and 187 yourself spiritually by choosing not to be in a relationship with God and getting to know God for yourself and letting God love on you and use you for his glory because of what happened with certain church people in the church. You're only hurting spiritually first and then naturally your own self. Because again, God is going to judge them. No one gets away with nothing. He doesn't do things when we think he should do them. He doesn't do vengeance on people when we think he should. He does it in his timing. And then you also have judgment day as well. And so I said this to say that we can all, for hours and weeks and months and years, go on and on and on about what's going on in the church, what happened 5 minutes ago, what just happened as we cross into 2016. But this is 2016. Sweet 16. God is on the scene. What are you going to do? Are you going to choose to let God use you, or are you going to choose to let Satan use you? Because that's a tactic of Satan. He wants to keep targeting on your hurt, what they did to keep you stuck, keep you isolated, keep you divided, keep you in a victim mentality where you're skeptical of every spiritual leader, of God's spiritual authority, and even his people. When actually we mean you good for those that are in relationship with God and kingdom minded. But if you're not willing to give God a chance when he never gave up on you, he never washes his hands with you, he never throws in the towel with you, he never left you nor forsook you. He was there even when those incidents happened. That's why he's holding everyone accountable and judging accordingly. So if you're not willing to just give God another chance, give your life back to him, rededicate yourself to him, and let him do the work within you. You don't have to try to fix yourself up or whatever before you come to God. Come to God spiritually naked. Whatever sins you're still stuck in, or strongholds or generational curses, don't be studying what other people are going to think, how you're going to look, and how you're going to sound. God is not concerned with that. He's concerned about your soul. Come to God just like you are, spiritually naked. Get what's due you. You owe God, I owe God. This is spiritual warfare. Satan is not playing, God is not playing. They're both busy. They're looking for willing vessels to obey and cooperate. Choose ye this day whom you're going to serve. There's no excuses for why you're still out there talking about the church folk when you won't even be a kingdom person. So, with that being said, I encourage you, go look at what Jesus did. Jesus didn't leave the disciples. He didn't say, skip this with church. He didn't say, God, I'm good. He didn't do all that. He still chose to be about his Father's business, love God, stay in relationship with God, obey and cooperate with God, and look at how powerful he is. Even became more powerful. Could nothing hold him down. Death didn't have no sting on him. He still resurrected. And Satan knew this. That's why he attacked him so hard like he did. That's why he used people, especially religious folks, to come against him like he did. He did a lot of inside jobs through religious people. And if that happened with Jesus Christ, guess what? It's still happening today. with those who serve the Lord with all their heart, mind, and body and spirit. And so I encourage you, for those who have been through a lot with church people, religious folks, remember, all of us are not like that. All of us are not church folk. There's a lot of kingdom-minded people who are building the kingdom one mind at a time, one soul at a time. And it's not easy because, again, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So why don't you make that be balanced and become one of the laborers and stop being one of the rebellious ones, attacking us, persecuting us, lacking the knowledge and understanding of ministry and what all it entails of, and the details of it, and the blueprint of it. Because since Jesus chose to follow through, you should follow through too. With that being said, I'm Gabrielle. Feel free to post and comment. This is part 4 to Let's Talk About It. Amen. Putting it out there, because there's no excuse why we should not still get in relationship with God regardless of what people do. You should not allow a person, whether religious or not, to stop you from getting to know God, obeying and serving God, giving your life to God, and doing what He called you to do, because you're accountable just like I am, regardless. No excuses, no justifications. I love you, and I thank God for what these videos are doing. To God be the glory.